Hello everyone, I'm going to be giving you a walkthrough on how to beat the Forbidden Weapon mission on Brutal difficulty. I've got my assembly panel up right now and I'm going to be showing you which units I've got selected. So right now I've got the Zealot selected with the Whirlwind ability, the Stalker with the Shield Regeneration ability, the Annihilator, which is like the Immortal but it has the Shadow Cannon ability, and then finally the Dark Templar, which this is going to be the most important unit in this playthrough with the Shadow Fury ability. Then I'm also going to be showing you how I've allocated my Solarite. So very quickly, I've got the Orbital Assimilator selected, Temporal Field I'm going to select, and Deploy Pylon. So for those of you who don't know, the Orbital Assimilator ability allows the Spear of Doom to automatically harvest Vespene gas from the assimilators without requiring probes, and that costs 25 Solarites. Oh, and I also had the two other auxiliary system abilities upgraded as well. The ones which allow you to warp in structures faster and to deploy or to start with more supply. So those two abilities, you start with like an additional, I think 40 supply with that one ability, and then the other ability allows you to warp in structures like 20% fast. Yeah, I think it's like an increase of 20% to warp them in that much faster. But back to the other abilities that I have. So Temporal Field, for those of you who don't know, that creates 3 temporal fields that freeze enemy units and structures in time for 20 seconds. Now, that does not freeze heroic units, it only slows them down by 50%. The Temporal Field ability costs 50 energy, and it has a cooldown of 60 seconds. So, and that ability also costs 25 Solarite to have. So that one is actually very huge for this mission, and it's going to be very helpful for us beating this mission on Brutal difficulty, and I'm going to be using that ability a lot in my Mastery Achievement video, which I'm going to show you guys probably in the next video I'm going to be creating. And then finally, of course, you have the Deploy Pylon ability, which quickly warps in a pylon to any visible location. That costs 75 energy, which is a ton of energy. You're going to want to be saving your energy for your temporal fields. I would definitely suggest to save for the temporal fields. You know, if you are good enough that you don't need those, I mean, of course, go ahead, use the Deploy Pylon if you have too much energy. But yeah, definitely temporal fields is the better ability to be using here, and Deploy Pylons is just kind of extra. Now, I just want to bring up really quickly, so the first wave is going to come pretty quickly, and I've spawned a couple zealots right away, and I had those sentries to repair their shields, which you're given, and basically one of your zealots is going to get focused down in that first wave, and you just have to pull him back and micro him a little bit, and you won't lose any units. You should be just fine. You can have, 2, 3, even 4 like I have zealots, and you should be just fine against that first wave. Now back to what I was saying, the Deploy Pylon ability also has a cooldown of 60 seconds, and it costs 0 Solarite to have that selected. So as you can see, I've got my supply lines all full of probes right now, and I've got both of my Vespene geysers with assimilators on them right now. I've also created my Dark Shrine, so I can start creating those Dark Templar right away. Getting that Dark Shrine right away is very important because you want to start spawning as much of those Dark Templars as you can. I'm going to get about 4 Dark Templar, and once I have those 4 Dark Templar, I'm going to start moving out and start destroying all the enemies that I can. So once you have these 4 Dark Templar, I'm going to go up to out of the base, down the ramp, and then over to the right a little bit, because there's a little mineral patch, and you're going to want to get as many of these mineral patches or gas patches as you can. I don't know that they have very many gas patches in this mission, but there are definitely quite a few mineral patches that you'll find throughout the mission, and those will be very helpful for your playthrough. Now, something I wanted to bring up really quickly, I did not show you guys the 3 base achievements that you can unlock for this mission in the beginning, but I will talk about them really quickly. So one of the the first achievement is Forbidden Weapon, and that's complete the Forbidden Weapon mission in the Legacy of the Void campaign. That doesn't have to be beaten on any difficulty. It's just base achievements. If you beat it on the easy difficulty, you'll get the achievement. Then the next achievement is Danger Zone, and that is don't let the Tal'Darim displacement beam destroy any of your units in the Forbidden Weapon mission. I get a little close to that happening in this playthrough, but luckily I ended up dodging. And then 1 second, I'll get to the last achievement here. So this is up to the right I was talking about with your Dark Templar. As you can see, there's a mineral patch right here, and then that displacement beam is going right above that area a little bit, and you won't have to worry too much about that because it's not really in your way yet. And then I'm just trying to spawn and as many warp gates as I can. Well, gateways and then transforming them to warp gates, because I have a ton of extra minerals, because I'm going to be running out of gas quicker than I'm using my minerals, and in order to soak up all the extra minerals I have, that's why I'm going to be spawning in those extra gateways and transforming into warp gates just to soak up those, surplus minerals. And then you have this annoying warp prism right here at the beginning. You're going to want to make sure to take that out. I haven't actually left that warp prism there before. I don't know, maybe if you do leave that warp prism there, the enemy can spawn units in close to your base, but I'm not sure. And as you can see, there's another gas pickup, mineral pickup, and then there's your first bonus objective right there, find the raw solarite, one of 3 I have now, and for every single one you find, you get +5 solarites. So these bonus objectives really are not difficult to find on this mission. It's pretty easy. Okay, so your last achievement that you're going to get in this mission, hopefully on brutal difficulty, maybe you'll have to do it on normal, who knows, but is called Pull the Plug, and that's to destroy 6 Tal'Darim gateways or warp gates in the Forbidden Weapon mission on normal difficulty. Now, I wasn't very sure that I was going to be able to get that achievement while playing on brutal difficulty, but it was actually pretty easy when I'm playing with these Dark Templar. I just realized that pretty much the main thing that you need to do is get those 3 upgrades from your forge, and you don't even need to rush to get those upgrades. That's your attack, your armor, and your shield upgrades. But it's to get that Dark Shrine built right away, and once you have that Dark Shrine, just build a ton of these Dark Templar, and since they have that really nice ability, which is called Shadow Fury, and which allows them to quickly attack multiple enemy ground units, so they pretty much warp and then do a ton of damage, and then warp back to their original position, and it's got a really fast cooldown on it. Because of that ability, you just take in your Dark Templar and then take out all the ground units that you can really quick, and then you bring in the rest of your forces and you do pretty good. And then if you have any areas like this where there's detection, you drop down those temporal fields. And as you can see, I temporal field that High Templar, so it couldn't use its Psionic Storm on my Dark Templar, and it took down the detection that was going to be able to spot my Dark Templar right away. And all of a sudden, there isn't a problem with those defenses anymore. Then I bring over the rest of my forces, those Stalkers and the Zealots, and a couple of the Sentries, of course, too. And they're able to take the rest of it out. Also note there are 2 mineral pickups here and 2 gas pickups. So I guess I was wrong. There are definitely enough gas pickups on this playthrough. So this is going to be your first 2 gateways for that achievement called Pull the Plug. And I'm just going to leave that carrier there. You don't have to worry about it. If there's extra units that are going to soak up your time, don't worry about them. Just keep on moving forward. And then once again, I'm going to save the majority of my units down at the bottom of the ramp, and I'm going to pull my Dark Templar up. And then I'm just going to keep on trying to mass as many units as I can. So the more I can get, the better. And then I've got this nasty Oracle attacking my Dark Templar, and you need to watch out for those because they actually have detection. And then always make sure to take out Dark Templar first after you get detection. So I would say detection's most important, and then for next units that are most important to take out, High Templar and Archons, because the High Templar have a ton of area damage with that Psionic Storm ability. With that ability, they can actually, it does 80 damage to all the units in that area, and it lasts for 2.85 seconds. So in that 2.85 seconds, it's going to do 80 damage to your units. And then it also costs 75 energy, and they only have a cooldown of 1.43 seconds to use that ability. Now, High Templar only have 200 energy, so they can only use that twice before they have to regenerate energy. But they can use that Psionic Storm twice really fast. And if your High Templar are grouped together, it's going to kill them pretty quickly. So that's my advice. I would definitely take out High Templar first and then Archons. And as you can see, there was your second raw Solarite. So now you should be at plus 10 Solarite. And we still only have 2 gateways destroyed, so we're going to work on trying to get more here. And then I'm spawning in the pylon instead of using warp prisms, just because I've got this nasty Oracle here, and a Phoenix, and also this carrier. So I wanted to spawn in a bunch of Stalkers to take out all of these air units. I didn't really bring it up a second ago, but right when you cross that bridge, there are 3 photon cannons, and then there's like 1 or 2 Archons there. I used my Warp Prism ability, and I was able to freeze the detection and then take everything out with my Dark Archons really quickly. And then right here, I got a little bit close to losing stuff to this displacement beam, which was close. So what I do is I take my Dark Archons and I friendly attack my own Dark Pylon, so I didn't lose the chance of getting that achievement called Danger Zone. Because I'm pretty sure, well, maybe I wouldn't have lost it, because the achievement only counts for your units. But who knows? Maybe if you lost a structure to it, it would have counted too. Now, I hit a huge bummer right there. It was kind of disappointing. The enemy actually caught my Dark Templar off guard, and they killed all of my Dark Templar. And those Dark Templar are kind of expensive, so you want to, mass them up as much as you can, and if you lose them, it's a huge bummer, especially since that displacement beam doesn't stop moving. Luckily, though, I don't quit. And I keep pushing forward, and I actually have pretty good luck. So hang in there and keep watching. I'm still going to beat this mission. And as you can see, I have a huge surplus of resources still, and I still need more supplies, so I'm going to throw down a bunch of pylons to soak up some of that surplus of minerals again. And then I've got my Dark Templar in the back there. I'm going to try to throw them in the front one more time. And as I go down this ramp, I'm going to be using my Temporal Field ability once again. You can see there's a pretty darn cool Phoenix being built right there in that structure. That was pretty neat. Pretty neat map that they have going on here. So, like I was saying, go down with your Dark Templar first, and then you're going to want to use that Temporal Field on the detection so you don't lose any more Dark Templar than you have to. So, there you go. I don't think I lost any of my Dark Templar right there. And I'm freezing these guys. I need to make sure to take out that Photon Cannon first, and then move my Dark Templar away. And then now I'm moving in with the rest of my forces. I'm going to clear out this base pretty quickly here. So, there we go. There's 4, and then this will be 5 gateway. No, 3 and 4 gateways. And then I still have 2 more gateways I need to destroy. And then I was not ready for this. My teammate actually came up behind me. Or the enemy, the Tal'Darim, actually came up behind me and started attacking my pylon, which I had on the other side of this gate. Luckily, though, I was able to just walk right through those enemies. It wasn't too dangerous of a force. So we're sitting okay right now. And I still need to get 2 more gateways. I'm kind of wondering right now, where am I going to find those 2 extra gateways? The only other spot that they have 2 gateways is in the enemy's expansion, or their little outpost that they have, and I did not go to that area yet, at least. And I don't think I'm going to. Unless, actually, I already did get the 3 and 4 gateways. I wasn't paying attention. Earlier on by that bridge, there's the 2 gateways there, I'm pretty sure. So actually I think that was 5 and 6 gateways now. And now all I need to do is just walk into the enemy's base. Yeah. And you walk up this ramp, and you want to make sure to take out those warp prisms. Take out the warp prisms because that's giving power, allowing units to spawn in, and the detection of your Dark Templar. And then once you take those out, take out that High Temp. You want to take out the High Templar right away as well. Actually, I take that back. You probably want to take out the High Templar first because the High Templar is not going to go away, and you've got your whole army here. So take out the High Templar first, then take out the Warp Prisms, and then take out whatever else that you can. And then right here would be a very great time to start using your warp prisms, your temporal fields, because it looked like I was going to die right here, but I did not, just because of those temporal fields. Those temporal fields have saved my butt so many times while playing through on this mission. And I'm going to do something really important here. Instead of using my deploy pylon ability, I'm just going to bring my probes up here, and I'm just going to keep on building those pylons closer and closer. And then something else I want to point out is I got that last raw solarite, and that was back a little bit over to the left. So if you look at the top left part of the map, the mini map, there's a little white icon. That's where the last solarite was, and I just picked that up. And then all I had to do right here was I moved in with my Dark Templar, and I got those last pylons. And I didn't even have to focus down these colossi. All I had to do was just focus down those 2 last pylons, and you can just walk through and get it. And I was so very close to losing too, but that's all it took. Just literally walking in there and focusing on those pylons just because I had so many units. And hopefully it'll work out the same for you guys as well, because if you focus down those colossi, you probably won't make it. I mean, if you're staying at the same point as me, at least. But yeah, so as you can see, I have Tal'Darim gateways destroyed. I have 6 of them destroyed, so that was enough to constitute for that achievement. Also, I got 15 of the 15 possible solarates, and beat this mission in about 20 minutes StarCraft time, which is like, I think I beat this mission about 16 minutes real time, so it was actually pretty darn quick. And as you can see, I got the pull the plug achievement, like I said, the Dark Danger Zone achievement, and then finally the very last achievement, which was the Forbidden Weapon achievement. And that was all of them. So I got a little bit confused earlier, but I'm very positive that the 2 other gateways that I wasn't paying attention for were the ones right as I crossed that first bridge with my Dark Templar. There were 2 gateways there, and then that would count as the 3 and 4 gateways, and then the last 2 were at that very last outpost before you get to the end. That was 5 and 6 gateways. And I'm just showing you that last achievement I got there. Solar powered, acquire 100 solarite for the solar core in the Legacy of the Void campaign. And then here, I'm just going to jump really quick to where that bridge was, just to show you guys. So right here, I'm just about to go across this. Yeah, let's go. Okay, right here, there's this bridge. And there are no gateways here. Am I like... Oh, okay. I know what happened here. Okay, so as we go down this ramp right here,
we'll activate them now.
There are 2 gateways right here. This is what was the problem. 2 gateways right here, and then there's this little outpost over to the bottom right, and that's where the other 2 gateways were. So this is 3 and 4. Sorry for the confusion, everyone. That's 3 and 4 for the gateways. Okay. And then 5 and 6 are at the very end there, at the bottom of that last ramp. And I'm going to jump to it right here. Yep, right here. This is 5 and 6 gateways, and I walked in here and destroyed those last 2. So that will get you the pull the plug achievement. And you should be able to do all 3 of these achievements just fine on brutal difficulty. It took me a couple times to get all 3 of them, but it actually took me a couple times to beat this mission on brutal difficulty. But if you make good use of those Dark Templar, you should be just fine. And I hope this was very informative and this was a very helpful walkthrough for all of you guys. And guys and girls, everyone watching, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. It's going to be a Mastery Achievement video. Thanks for watching, guys.